Hi, my name is Nadine Yatome, and today I'm going to go over a case study that we just did. So, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we got some data from Budweiser. We got two sets of data, beer and brewery, and they give us a directive to look at the data, do some analysis, and provide any interesting findings that we may uncover. So, I'm going to talk about the data itself and also the findings that we came across. So, the first thing that we did was merge those two data sets. And when we started looking at it, we noticed that the two fields that we were interested in, the ABV, which stands for alcohol beer by volume, and the IBU, International Beer Units, those two fields, they had null values and they also had duplicates. So what we did was for the null values, we knew that we wanted to do some statistic tests that required us to have values in order to have the correct results. So we just went ahead and gave them zero values. And for the duplicates, we just went ahead and removed them. And then we started looking into the data itself that's cleaned and good to go. So the sample size for that was 2,410 records. And the first thing that we looked at was, well, how many breweries are there in each state? And the state with the most breweries was Colorado with 43. And then we moved on to running some tests about median, and we wanted to see which state had the highest median for ABV. And Washington, D.C. came out on top, while the state with the highest median IBU was West Virginia. So we also wanted to know alcohol content. Uh, we wanted to know which state had the maximum alcohol beer. And that will also help us, of course, understand what is the max content for the alcohol. So that came out to be Colorado with 12.8%. And we did the same thing for IBU. So the state with the most bitter beer is Oregon with an IBU of 138. And so we looked into the ABV field a little bit more closely, and we wanted to understand the statistic that was associated with that. So we discovered that most beers that are produced, they have alcohol content range of 5 to 6.7%, with the most occurring alcohol content being 5.6%. The average for all the beers is 5.82%, and the maximum alcohol content by volume is 12.8%. And as you saw in the previous slide, Colorado has that maximum. And the minimum, this came from us giving this field zero values so that results are not skewed. So the minimum, of course, is 0%. So we asked ourselves, what does this mean? What is this ABV having this 5 to 6.7 range? What does that mean? And we think that maybe that's what the market's currently looking for, or the standards for brewing that process. They require that beers have this the maximum of 12.8%. And maybe, you have some markets out there that are looking for something different, just nobody has gone there yet to talk to them and find out what they want. So you never know. We think that maybe there are some untapped markets out there that are looking for something different. So we need to maybe do some market research and understand how the market works in order to, implement this and really make it fact. But this is what we found. So, in conclusion, our findings show that the highest median ABV is 12.8%, and the IBU is 138. There is a positive correlation between IBU and ABV. So, of course, that means that as IBU increases in beer, you have higher value in the beer. When a range, so we ran a test that basically puts all the values of the ABV from the lowest to the highest. And what we found is that the lowest 25% of beers have an ABV of 0.05, while the middle 50% of the beers have the ABV level of 0.017. We do want to point out one thing: 41.7% of the IBU data did not have any values in them. So we gave it that zero value. So to qualify the IBU summary and really use these results, we will recommend that another data sample is pulled and run the same test and see if we find the same results. And that concludes the findings that we came across from the Budweiser data. Thank you.